Welcome, everybody. This is Kurt Roskoff. I'm Kurt Roskoff, and this is the World of Ability show. This is going to be a little different. I'm going to give you kind of a day in the life of how I produce podcasts. So right now, I'm getting this up and running, and I just got the captions going, and I'm going to go ahead and pin my videos. Because I'm on here with two devices, one device to capture. This video is private. That I just went to YouTube, and it's giving me that my YouTube video is private. So bear with me here as this private video is out there. I need to change the settings on my other computer. To go in and edit, which means I got to sign up. All right, I'm going to switch accounts. There we go. Use the switch account feature, and I'm going to go over to the World of Ability. Going to do an edit. I tend to set up that I'm not really producing. But again, World of Ability was established back July 26, 2020 for disability advocacy live streaming. And so we've been doing this for 3.5 years, and we produced over 1,000 videos. Excellent. Eh? So you can see what we got for playlists. I'm going to put my YouTube video, this YouTube video, into the World of Ability playlist, and then answer this question. I'm going to say, no, it's not made for kids, and save this, and that should move this over to be a public video. So that's what I'm working on here, and I've got my Instagram live going. So we're going to go ahead and give this a rough cut beginning here, and I've got to get my StreamYard and my Restream working. I'm here solo producing. I'm normally here with my wife Sue. We've got a podcast engineer, Emily, and obviously neither of them are available to me right now, so I figure we'll do kind of a behind the scenes run of how we produce these shows. These shows run 1 to 3 Central, so we have a lot of time here to get in my content and see if anybody might be joining me today. So we will see how that goes. So I'm going on to Twitter X Spaces. And so sharing now a World of Ability audio capture of everything I and everybody who joins today. Basically, the Zoom meeting to join this session is Ability Now. So that's the personal link name. So everybody who would like to join can go ahead and go to Zoom, join a meeting, type in Ability Now, and bam, you're in the show. So you are welcome to do so. Again, I'm just checking my YouTube video. We have Instagram live here through Ability MKE Now. And I'm just checking that this thing is showing as public now, because this is a podcast. This is open to everybody to watch. And when YouTube set it to private, that's not what we have intended, and it looks good. I'm not seeing that private setting anymore, and it's coming up fine on my browser. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use Restream and StreamYard, and we're going to get out to LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, and so we're getting operational here. So thank you for bearing with me. And I hope you find this a little instructive. Those that use Restream and StreamYard, obviously not benefiting too much from what I'm running through here. But at least we can get this simulcast out the way we intend. I'm normally doing this while Sue and Emily are starting out the show. But here we'll just kind of make this part of the show today. A unique opportunity. Restream. So here we go. And what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to go to my browser and I'm going to pull up a Google Drive document. And we're going to do a little show and tell today. Show and tell a little history of the trails that I've had with the Pewaukee Lake Water Ski Club west of Milwaukee, which is now in the last few years become a group known now also as the Gators. So a little nicknaming going on there. So I'm just titling in here, World of Ability. And then again, typing near disability advocacy live stream. All right, so go ahead and get that going. Great live streaming. So I got my browser opening up. We'll be getting you that PowerPoint presentation. Videos there. So yeah, my device ran earlier on doing a Windows restart. So that added to a little bit of my delays here today. So again, thanks for bearing with me. And so one of the roles that I play out there in the world is a co-host for the Happy Neighborhood Project. So what is the Happy Neighborhood Project? Well, when I got introduced to it, I got into it through Happy Business Networking. And that's a program on Zoom where they do a little bit of an introduction on the Zoom session to everybody attending. And then they get us set up and they get us off to breakout rooms with 4 to 6 people in each room. And then 4 to 6 people take turns giving a little introduction, answering an icebreaker question, and getting the conversation started. And then they bring you back after that breakout room. They do a halftime show. And then they get you ready to do another second half of breakout rooms. And then when that breakout room session is over, then they do a finale. So we'll be able to get into all of that in today's show. And I also have become the national director for the Impactful Veterans Network by the Spirit of the Game. And so that foundation is set up to do what I'll call humanitarian work. And so they have a business network to, to kind of connect people who want to support businesses that are making an impact in their community and in the global marketplace, worldwide, locally, whatever, just that contribution in the world through their impact. And then there's the Women's Impactful Network, the Impactful Women's Network, to connect the work that women are doing to have an impact in the world and, maybe their own little corner of the world and stuff like that, and pool together for tips, tricks, techniques, best practices, inspiration, motivation, everything to tool them up to keep doing that great work, being a great impact in the world. So on the corporate level, I think of corporate social responsibility. And so it's a thing out there in corporate space. So we're kind of in that wheelhouse. So we have our women's network, business network, veterans network, and it's a growing group. So we're going to be taking on more niches as time goes on. So here we go. I've got StreamYard helping me get out to one of my Facebook profiles. For those familiar with my profiles, I got a profile with a background being red. And then I've got a background that's more greenish that includes a picture of me with my daughter. And then, so we got Restream helped me get out to that second Facebook profile. And then also my LinkedIn, which I have a handle out there of Hey Kurt, HEYKURT. And so Restream is helping me get out onto that as well. So I just went to Google Calendar by accident instead of StreamYard. Just got to correct that. I'm just going to inspect my LinkedIn and Facebook profiles right away to make sure that I'm not going to go through all this and then not have those videos out where we need them. So I'll take care of that as we go here. And so I'm going to continue sharing about what I deliver when I do a follow-up one-to-one as a result of business networking or networking online or connecting on LinkedIn, so on and so forth. So again, I'll be showing you a PowerPoint presentation here that I kind of use as a basis to kind of understand this trail of doing World of Ability podcast, becoming a co-host at the Happy Neighborhood Project. Again, the Happy Neighborhood Project with Chief Happiness Officer Edwin Edeberry. And he started his work back in 2009 on that in response to the recession. He wanted to be of service to help people obviously maintain their happiness, and with the mantra of happiness as a default position. So when I got involved with Happy Business Networking and got introduced to Edwin's work and I checked it out, they told me about his TEDx talk, YouTube video. You can go to youtube.com and search for happiness as a default position right there. So that's kind of what lit me on fire to realize that I am and have been in the right place so far as connecting to the Happy Neighborhood Project. I celebrate it as great social mission, social enterprise, and helping me grow my social ministry and everything that we're doing. So basically, we have our friend Debbie. So I think she's going to be coming on to join us, Debbie Hayes. So US/my/ability now. So I want to make sure I don't actually go to that link. That'll just open up. So it looks like we're going to be able to have a great conversation with Debbie. And I do see that the live stream seems to be coming through good. I'm seeing myself on LinkedIn. This is 2 minutes ago. I'm not as much seeing the live aspect. Let's see the YouTube live. I just got to check this here. Yep, it is showing live. So I went to, yep, I guess since I'm talking to myself, I'm not getting any sound confirmation on my speakers, but looks good on LinkedIn. So, so now we're going to go ahead and check our Facebook. We're good on my one profile. I just got one more profile to check here, and then we'll be getting to that PowerPoint presentation. So when I'm at Happy Business Networking, this is what I offer to people around the world, is that everybody's welcome to come on these shows. And in business networking, we talk about sharing who you are, what you do, your products and services, so on and so forth. And so that's what this is intended to be, is that when Debbie comes on here, you're going to be able to learn about her. So just real quickly, since I did bring her up, again, I met Debbie through the Happy Neighbor Project. You know, so she does co-hosting with the Happy Neighbor Project, so on and so forth. She'll be able to talk about her position and her work with HMP. And then basically I'm just pulling up here her LinkedIn profile. And then this will, I just want to go off of her description on her profile, you know, for what her background is and such. Seeing multiple Debbie Hayes. So let me go to where we're chatting. Health for humans, health for pets, wellness, education, pet lovers, entrepreneurs. You can create your own life. Time freedom. HMP co-host, HMP Arizona. Debbie Hayes. Check her out at linkedin.com/in/Debbie-Hayes, HAYES-AZ for Arizona. LinkedIn.com/in/Debbie, DEBBIE-Hayes-AZ for Arizona. So hopefully she will be able to tune in here and join us in this podcast. So I'm going to get on with the show, the slideshow. And so I'm just going to, oh, here's Debbie here. I don't know if you were sitting there, Debbie, hearing me talk about you. And so for some reason, I'm not getting sound. I must have muted Zoom at some point. Let me get my volume mixer going here. Something's not working on my sound. Why not? So Debbie, say something again. Let's see if I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm here. You were talking about me and I was here.
Yeah, nice. Thanks for joining us. How is your Saturday going?
Good, thank you. How about you?
Things are going good here. So, all right. Well, give us a little update first. What's going on? What's happening? What's going on this weekend? Any personal insights, news, just thoughts of the week, inspirations from HMP, you know.
Well, let's start out with what's going on right now. I'm pet sitting for a week.
Okay.
I'm pet sitting one dog, one little betta fish in the tank, and they built a pond in the backyard and they have 6 koi, which also have to be fed, obviously. So it's fun.
All right. So you heard me talking about you. What do you want to add on to that? A little bit more of your background, a little bit more of your co-hosting. Let's make sure people know who they're listening to and watching. Who is Debbie Hayes? What are you all about? What's going on in your wheelhouse?
Well, first of all, HNP. You gave me a lot of assignments all in one sentence, Kurt, so I may have to come back to you.
That's all right. I'm here for you. We've got 90 minutes. Yeah, I hope we can accomplish it in 90. I don't know if you have 90 minutes, but we do.
So we did meet on HNP and meet a lot of nice people there. And I do co-host for Arizona, and we meet on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific. Soon to be changed because Arizona will be going, the rest of the country will be going off of daylight savings time and we will be staying the same. So we do not fall back. And that makes our time change whenever on all activities, a real pain. But up until November the week of November 5th, then we start the time change. So I'm not going to try to tell you what time it's going to be because I'll probably get I'll get it backwards. But HNP people have a chance to talk about their business a little bit. But I say a little bit, not that that's a bad thing. The whole purpose is to exchange information so that after the actual HNP meeting, you can get together with people and get to know each other better on one-to-ones. So yesterday, I actually did what is called a cosmic smash party. You take a notebook. I think I put my notebooks away somewhere, but you take a notebook and there's a topic and you answer the topic in your notebook and then you color over it. And the gal that was running that, I met at the Global Happiness Summit last Friday. So we did a one-to-one. She told me about that. And even though I am totally not artistic, I decided to go, and it was fun. So like I said, you just want to give a brief overview of what you do so that people can get in touch with you, or you can get in touch with them, and you can do a Zoom, or if they happen to be in your area, you can do it in person if you want, and get to know them better and know how you can collaborate with them and they can collaborate with you and your businesses.
Excellent.
An example of what you would say on HNP, you have approximately 2 minutes, and Kurt can time me or I can go on because I'll probably go more than 2 minutes, but yeah, I pet sit, but mostly what I do is make sure that our pets are safe and secure. We want our pets to live as long as possible, but we also want them to be healthy. So in that respect, I partner with a company called Pet Club 247, and we offer food, treats, and toys for pets. Obviously, we talk to the pet parents about that. The pets answer by liking it, by being enthusiastic about eating and taking the treats and the toys. So, but we do educate the parents as to why it's important that that you use stuff like we have, which is human grade food made in a human grade commercial kitchen. And it's also US sourced, another thing that's very important. And then our flagship ingredient is the Coriolis versicolor mushroom, which is called the king of mushrooms. And it modulates this immune system so that we can, so that people can get healthy or stay healthy, and it will work. Not a cure, but as I said, modulates the immune system so the body can heal itself. And that is from as something as minute as allergies to catastrophic things. So that's what we do. And if somebody cuts us off, then we don't go over our 2 minutes. But Kurt was very nice. I'm sure I did go over my 2 minutes.
That's all right. We got time here. I think people get the point that it's done with a 2-minute limit. So I think we're good with that. You mentioned about the Global Happiness Summit. Do you want to expound upon that a little bit? Kind of, what is the Global Happiness Summit? Why did you go to the Global Happiness Summit? What did it do for you? You're telling us about that you went to this event because of somebody you met at the Global Happiness Summit. Tell us some more about the outcomes from going to that event 8 days.
Okay. So HNP has 2 summits, one in the spring and one in the fall. And the one in the fall is the Global Happiness Summit. It's not on Zoom, it's on hopin.com. So they are more equipped to have speed networking for a number of people, and a little bit better equipped in their setup because we have expo booths virtually. We have the stage, which is the people, obviously the featured speakers. And I will be honest, I go for the speed networking. I love speed networking. And if you're not familiar with speed networking, it's in this case, it's 3 minutes. So for 3 minutes, you're talking, each one of you gets about a minute and a half, just a very obviously cursory introduction. And then Hopin has an actual thing where you click on connect, they click on connect, and your information and their information from their profile is saved. So you can go back afterwards, check into the hopin.com again and get that information. So you don't have to be sitting there in your 3 minutes trying to write things down or type out your contact information while you're doing that. So again, very brief, but you can get that information. It can allow you to go back and connect with those people. And I did, as I said, with Catherine Irwin from Texas, who does the Cosmic Smash.
Okay, so this time around, I'm writing down the notes. Cosmic Smash, Catherine Irwin. So I'm going to try to follow up on that later on after the show.
Well, that's good, yeah, because what she does is virtual.
Okay.
Yeah,
Excellent.
she's also a Legal Shield representative. That's her technical business. I think this is her fun business.
Okay. All right. It's good to have a fun business. Do you have fun with your business?
Pardon me?
Do you have fun with your business?
I do.
All right, good.
I do.
So, and just to be clear, there's a way you can have a fun business, and then there's funny business. So funny business is more of a social thing. That's something separate.
Right. That's what I would peg you for, Kurt. Funny business.
There you go. All right. So this is edutainment here at the World of Ability. So what I want to do right now is I want to bring up a screen share. I just want to add some visuals here. Now, Debbie, you know that there's these recordings sitting here waiting for us as a result of the Hopin event from last Friday. Are you aware of that? You can watch recordings.
Say that again.
When you go into your Hopin account,
yeah,
and then you click back into the Global Happiness Summit like you did last Friday, it shows that it ended. And then it shows Global Happiness Summit 2023. It shows the live event is over. Start time, end time was all on October 6th. And then this recording of the main stage parts of the event is available here until October 6th, 2024, 7 p.m.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's a good resource. It's a good way also for if you want to give people a glimpse in terms of International Day of Happiness, because the same type of thing will be available for International Day of Happiness after that event is over. So it's just a good thing to show these features that attract us to keep using.
And to watch that, you click on the blue button that said watch recordings.
Yeah, so we can do that right here. We can go into the replay. It's now this is the first that I've ever gone into. I had somebody else who missed the event, and I invited her to check back with me. It was a little bit of just like you're saying, not everybody is aware that this is available. So what we have is that I don't know, I'll just give it a 10 for now. I'm not gonna. What did you like about the events? All the new connections to professionals. So
you put something out very professional. I would put speed networking.
Yeah, well, there's
draw their own conclusions.
Yeah, I mean, your feedback is the speed networking, which is great. I like the speed networking too, but I also like to accentuate how valuable the vendor booth spaces are.
Uh-huh.
So when we have those vendors that we're not familiar with, and then you can go into those vendor booths and, I just want to make sure people aren't forgetting that that's another way on this platform that you can network by going into the vendor booths.
The
And
vendor booths were really reasonable this year. They were $100 and then you got 2 free tickets.
right. So here's the stage recording. So again, this is the main stage. So like if people missed Barry Shore's presentation or any of these presentations, we can go back in here and view them. So if you were busy speed networking and you didn't see one of these, Debbie,
I'm sorry, the sun's on my screen. No, the gal that you just had back, what is her name? Amber's.
talking about right here.
Oh my gosh, yes. She told about when her daughter died. Oh my gosh, it was so heart-wrenching.
Yeah. So that's just it. If there's something to that to share or whatever, we can do all that. So I got a comment like, wow, if I would have known, this is what somebody told me from HMP, if I would have known that I could have missed the event and paid the $10 just to be able to go back to these recordings, she said she would have done that. So I told her, well, let's team up. And I told her I'd let her, have access to this and that we can do a better job of sharing in our community I don't want to commit that they're doing $10 tickets, but if they do $10 tickets again, that we want to make sure people know that this is an option. Miss the event, come back to the recordings. And you can get all that. So apparently, it says apparently we can go to speed networking right now. This is interesting, but I can at least show what we're talking about with this speed networking. I'm doubting anybody else is on here, but if
That'd be a surprise, huh?
Yeah, if you wanted to. Now I'm not going to be able to do this setup because I'm using my camera and microphone for this show, but that's kind of what happens. It runs you in to set that up, and then you're just in queue with your video on and your audio ready to go, and then you're waiting for that other video to come in from the other person, and there's a little chat session, so on and so forth. So this is kind of also a little tutorial on Hopin. This is kind of our example of how you can use Hopin. Vendor and speaking onboarding, Global Happiness Summit opened. We had Edwin on there, Chief Happiness Officer, welcoming us, Rhonda Wood, about the power of a smile, and then Miss Corporate America, Kyra Coffee, Esquire, Mary Linda McBride, mindfulness, that speed networking that Debbie is such a fan of. You'll be our speed networking spokesperson, Debbie. So bonus speaker, Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy, barryshore.com. So then
oh, go ahead, Kurt. Sorry. I didn't mean to.
I was just trying this vendor boost. Like I was saying, the winners, they did a happy wheel where everybody attending was on the wheel and the giveaways and all that. David George Brook on gratitude. Our Now site partner came on, and everything we have through Happy Sales AI. Got to get that break in these 6-hour events. For My Card. You don't have For My Card, do you, Debbie?
I don't.
Yeah, but are you on Happy Sales AI? Are you using Happy Store stuff at all?
I am. I'm not very good at following up on it. So I haven't really started officially. I mean, I've started officially as far as the billing is concerned, but as far as making it operational, no. I get so far and then something, I get distracted. I ask a question, they don't get back to me immediately. I'm not saying that as a fault. I'm just saying, and so then I get distracted and I do need to check it out actually and continue with that. But what I was going to say, and obviously it's important for people to know the various things that they can see on stage and so forth. But my understanding is that we can actually go back into Hopin and find other networking events. Because we're registered in Hopin, that we can participate in those. I have not done that, so I don't know how to access them. Don't know where the list is. I just heard that rumor.
Yeah, so good point. I'm not exactly adept to it either, but I would think. Now, I think this is bringing me back to my Ring Central dashboard. So this is just kind of on the fly, spirit of let's do it together. And so these are connections that, as it would end up, these were all cultivated through International Day of Happiness, or so it even it's taking a while to move for me here. Something's going on in the background, but I'll do what I can when this becomes available to me again. I must have a lot of contacts. It's really loading them up, but yeah, this is kind of handy here that when you network, they're like business card that we all have here on Hopin. Now we keep saying Hopin, and we're seeing Ring Central. So
Right.
apparently Ring Central.
Ring Central bought Hopin.
Yeah. So here you
So
got
the reason, Kurt, is that it's taking so long to load all your contacts is that however many events you've been to on Hopin, all of your contacts are saved from all of those. So if you've been to 3 or 4 that the HNP has been using Hopin, then you should be able to get all of your contacts from all of your from all of the times that you were on there doing speed networking.
Yeah. And you're seeing Global Happiness Summit from a couple of years ago on here, and like you say, but so that kind of shows that International Day of Happiness 2022. So yeah, that's the nice thing, to be able to go back and have good follow-up with all those folks. And it's interesting to see some of our friends in there and be like, oh yeah, they went to IDH 2022 too, kind of a refresher on that. So see how long it takes. Oh, here it is. So these are past events. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not seeing it says my events you're attending will appear. Now you can create an event.
Right.
So I could actually create an event for World of Ability and have people hop on here and then tell them how they can join the show if they want, or create and hear how they can enjoy the show through this.
Is there a fee? Like if you put the information on there as an event, is there a fee?
I thought Tommy Tong, I thought he did something, whether it was with IDH or whether it was Global Happiness Summit a year ago. I thought he went in here and did a real quick and easy event to allow people to practice. And I had the impression he did it for free, and then it was a free event.
Wow.
So I guess they have some templates here. Conferences and summit so I don't. Oh, it says meetups. Maybe that's what I'm thinking here. So I want to see what this meetup thing is here. Start with meetups. All right, so I'm creating a meetup here. I can put in a graphic.
I'm going to grab my phone real quick.
Okay.
Because while we're talking about events, I would like to take this opportunity to say that we will be having an event tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Pacific time to educate people. As Kurt read from my profile, that's one of the things that we do, is educate people on why we think our products are important in fur babies' lives and what we offer to the human population.
All right.
So,
yeah, I always like to say humans are animals too, right?
Yeah.
In the animal kingdom.
Let
So
me
I'm trying to
see where I can,
figure out here.
I've got to find where I put it. And
Yeah.
then should I send it to you? What should I do with it?
Yeah, whatever's easiest. If you're sending it to me on LinkedIn or email or phone or here in the Zoom chat. Well, you're not logged into the Zoom on your phone. So whatever's easy on your phone, just tell me where it ended up. And
Okay,
so I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and use Project Die Hard here. Just it's telling me that it's gonna end up being hidden. I don't get this. Let's set up the, oh, you know what? I didn't give it a name. So I'm gonna do intro or what is our interest in the veteran? It's not a good name for an event, but just make it this, because Project Die Hard is a veteran service organization. All right, so here we go. It says it's, oh, I want to go back. I hope it saved everything else. Let's hope, because it says event visibility hidden. One public, oh, you know what? One public event, upgrade your plan. So apparently if you want your event to be promoted with this platform, that it's visible, you have to pay. So Tommy must have done a hidden event. And then when he gave us his event link, we were able to connect to it because he gave it to us in his own promoting of the event.
gotcha.
So let's do sponsors, speakers, expo booths. Let's do the whole thing. Save and continue. Paid event, both free and paid. Free event with registration and form link. Save and continue. So apparently I can do 100 registrations. And then let's see, projects. So here we go.
So as long as you have it less than 100, then there's no fee?
That's what it looks like. Yeah, it looks like if you want more than 100 to come in, you got to upgrade your plan apparently. But for most of us, if we get 100 people on our event, we're pretty happy with that, right? Like
Yeah,
if you had 100 people tomorrow, you'd be tickled pink.
yeah, you're right. I
So
would be.
let's share our experiences with veterans and veteran service organizations. Just kind of making this up as I go. Create your first session, structure your business for success, learn how to transform your networks. So
Hi, Kurt.
I'm just gonna go ahead and put the Project Die Hard logo. I think since I'm wondering if since I selected all those categories, hosts an open session for interactive roundtables, interviews, and workshops. Up to 20 people can participate in a session. So you can have 100 people registered, but only 20 people are going to participate in that given session. For some reason, it's not allowing me session title, volunteering and fundraising. Description, let's support vets by serving and raising funds for veteran programs. All right, save and continue. This keeps me going. Look at this. What are your goals for the event? Lead generation, recruitment, customer experience. Interesting. 715-303-9835. We've got none other than Emily Gulmer listening in. Emily, what's happening?
Hey, Kurt.
Hi,
I
Emily.
actually have Barbara. I actually have Barbara on the line too.
Barbara
Barbara
Weinstein.
The link's not working, so I have her on the line too.
Oh my gosh, our super helper is bridging in the cosmic world of Barbara Weinstein. How are you doing, Barbara? Is she muted, Emily? We're not hearing Barbara.
Barbara.
Hello, Barbara. Welcome to the show, Barbara. This is your world of ability. Barbara Schrader Weinstein. Come on up.
It looks like she's still connected. So
Yeah, she's probably fighting.
I was just talking to her before I called in here. So
Yeah, well, she's kind of a partier, and sometimes she falls asleep on us. Sometimes she's partying. Sometimes she's, got other people talking to her. You never know with Barbara. She lives an interesting life. Wow, I just clicked on something here. So, all right, well, we'll let that go for a while. That was our little demo on.
Yeah.
Apparently, Facebook came up for whatever reason. I must have clicked on a Facebook feature. So,
I sent you that into Messenger because they didn't have a LinkedIn option.
so I go to my Facebook. Is that why my Facebook came up? Because you were
I
saying,
don't think so. I sent it to Messenger, not Facebook.
like LinkedIn Messenger, or
No, the one that's associated with Facebook, yes.
okay, all right, gotcha.
But you're probably going to have to rewrite it a little bit. I mean, it's got the numbers in there. I have a new name. I have a new .com name.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What's
There's
this?
nothing there yet, but debspets.com.
Okay, well,
So you could, so if you wanted to rewrite it for me, you could say debspets.com is hosting a Zoom tomorrow about healthy food treats and toys for pets. And what else should we say? How humans and pets can modulate their immune system.
All right. So do we have Barbara yet? Nope, no Barbara yet. So Emily, you're dialed in here. What's going on with you, Emily? So debspets.com, did I spell that right?
Right.
Yeah.
Is hosting. There's nothing there if they go to debspets.com.
Yeah,
There's
it
nothing
shows
there yet. This is brand new as of yesterday.
right now, when I go to that, it shows this, Cinderella Deb. So yeah, it's clearly you got the domain and nothing else.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe we better not use that because people try going there and they'll be confused. I'll have to set it up first.
Yeah, but for our show, if anybody goes there,
yeah, you could put yeah, you could just put Debbie Hayes as hosting. That would be fine too.
Trying to figure out which profile you sent it to, because so far I'm not seeing it.
Oh, on LinkedIn?
Oh, it's on LinkedIn.
No, I didn't put it on LinkedIn. Oh, you're trying to figure out which Debbie Hayes I am?
Well, I have two profiles on Facebook. So it seems like you sent it to the one where I got a red background to my profile picture. Is the one where I have a green background. I'm not seeing the message you just sent. So I'm going in my other Facebook.
Oh, shoot. One of them's a headshot. What's the other one?
The other one is my daughter and I goofing around, and a little candid shot where she's making.
No, I'm talking. You said you have two.
Yeah, I've got two Facebook pages, and
okay, so one of them has my headshot.
Oh, your profiles.
Right.
Oh, so I have to know which, yeah, because there's this one,
No, you just have to go to Messenger. I can read you the information and then we don't have to go through all of this, actually.
all right, well, let me type it into the chat here. What's the information?
Okay, so Sunday, October 15th, 2 p.m. Pacific. Debbie Hayes is hosting a Zoom to educate people on healthy dog food, treats, and toys, and also tell people about the immune modulating mushroom supplement.
About the what modulating mushrooms?
Immune,
Oh, immune,
immune system, immune.
what you
What
call
do you-
it, the immune modulating mushrooms?
Yeah,
Modulating mushrooms. So there you go, I just typed it out. But how do
Okay.
people join
I'm-
the
I'm
event?
going to give you the Zoom number right now.
Okay,
The Zoom ID is 725-249-7457. And the password
okay,
488529.
488-529. Okay,
Correct. Thank you.
you bet.
Love
All
to
right,
have you and Sue join also.
Yeah, I've got it written down. We happen to do a blue collar crypto show at the same time, but this Tim Tarosian, he takes care of it, so we can just get him started, connect into your Zoom, and then we'll just have a little interruption. We gotta end his show, but yeah, we should be able to be attentive to most of it.
That'd be great.
All right, so Emily, what were you reporting? I got you started and then we stopped you, so now you can start again. What do you got, Emily?
Well, we
Emily?
had,
Oh,
I think right now, the Afro Film Festival is going on right now. Last day of the film festival. And then my autism conference is coming up in a couple weeks. And so those are two big things that are going on at the moment.
all right, so Emily, integralautism.org. You know, we got to get some tools out there for people that if they're like, oh, autism conference, you're quite the tease, Emily. You tell them all about it, no way to connect to it. So integralautism.org for the Integral Autism Conference, Integral Adult
Yeah.
Autism Conference, interactive networking, talks, and education for growing autism legitimacy. So
Yeah,
think
that's what Integral stands for.
interactive networking, talks, and education for growing autism legitimacy. So think about that, Debbie, that the autism community has to have a thing that's even a thing to work on legitimacy.
Yeah. So Emily, that's
Yes.
basically to educate people who are tempted to say, oh, that person doesn't have autism, or there's nothing wrong with that person, or something like that. Is that what I'm getting out of it?
So it's sort of kind of educating and awareness and being able to have the just having the conversation between the disability community and those that are connected to the disability community. Just having that conversation, so
Okay.
there's more of awareness and everything. So and understanding.
Thank you for that information.
So what else you got for us, Emily?
Mhm. I thought the Global Happiness Summit was a good and a fun event. And so yeah, it was a good event.
And so is Barbara still connected? Is she just listening to us or whatever right now, or what?
Yeah, she's just listening. It looks like she's still connected.
Okay. All right, I'm putting into our Zoom chat a little graphic here. So I see you gave me a screenshot, Debbie. I caught up to that Facebook message. So I'm just retaining that to make sure everything is what it needs to be. And I'll add that in as I continue to share that that's available for everybody tomorrow. And or with Sue, I'll coordinate with her to see what we can do to get on there. Emily, are you going to join us?
Uh-huh.
Do you know what we're
But
talking about?
likely, yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
So you-
Debbie's event tomorrow.
Yeah, so you got the meeting ID and the password. You got what you need to join.
Yep.
I got the middle three numbers, but I didn't get the beginning and the end. I got the 249 and the password.
Okay, so I'll hop over to my Google Voice and I'll give you the graphic that well, I'll copy and paste the notes from Zoom. Or like with your phone, or are you able, or no, you're not connected through the app, you're just on a phone call into here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'll copy and paste over to our chat we had with Sue.
Send it to me or do it again or something. But yeah.
Yeah, so with the Afro International Film Market and Festival going on right now, how much longer is it going to go?
I think for several more hours. Yeah, like today's the last day of it. So
Because I thought that it was roughly something like 6 o'clock or something when the reservation at the library would be ending. Like, I don't know how long that library stays open. You know what I mean?
I'm not exactly sure either, but I think it's going on for events going on for at least a little bit longer, I think.
Yeah, so I'm going to guess that there's probably about 4 more hours of the event to enjoy, and then who knows what they'll be doing locally to maybe go out to some other establishment and continue the connecting going on through that event. Now, Debbie, do you know what the Afro International Film Market and Festival is?
No, I really don't know anything about it. I know that you are involved.
Yeah. So, Emily, you want to do the honors and share with Debbie and our audiences what is Afro International Film Market and Festival?
Yeah. One thing, Kurt, I did see a couple of pictures that Jasper posted. But anyway, Debbie, the Afro Film Fest is an event that is founded by a guy named Jasper, who is from Nigeria, over in Africa, and he's looking into bring like all the African culture stories and so on coming out of Africa over here. And so this event is being held in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Auburn Auburn Avenue Research Library. And it was today, yesterday, and the day before. Yeah, like films, and there's different.
Yeah. So are you in Georgia, Emily?
Yes,
You're in Georgia,
I am not in Georgia right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Wisconsin, but the event is in Georgia, in Atlanta.
So so do they have remote locations? Is that why you're involved? Are they showing the films, like a simulcast of the films up in Wisconsin also?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I think they are doing kind of some kind of live streaming something. But Karen and I were kind of on like the planning, a little bit of the planning side of the event. And so, yeah, Karen, you want to say anything about it? I lost where I was going.
Yeah, so the idea is that there's a history with Cape Town Film Festival. And so you got Cape Town, and then you've got what they call Nollywood, which is the Hollywood in Nigeria. And so you got some Nigerian filmmakers and from other countries in Africa, really doing what they do, and then aspiring to be more a part of the world film industry. And so basically through the Happy Neighborhood Project, Jackie Zaccoli is the one, out of Arizona. Jackie Zaccoli out of Arizona. Oh, well, we'll have to get you networked. You guys are like local.
Yeah.
Contacts.
She doesn't come to HNP Arizona.
Right. She used to long ago, a few years ago she did. Then yeah, she drifted away. So she's the one that told me about Jasper and this film festival, and we're involved with a group called Spirit of the Game. So there's a lot of involvement in Africa with that, and that's kind of how, in a roundabout way, all this information was shared. And so with their stakeholders, there's this dynamic with the US where, in the world, if people have success in the US, in their home country, it more legitimizes their business pursuit.
Yeah.
So that's where their leadership said, doing an event in the US would really be helpful. And then when they're like, okay, we're saying this, now where are we going to do it? Well, it so happened in the leadership, somebody had an opportunity through this Auburn Avenue Research Library. So just through the resources and event planning that somebody just was able to take on that initiative to set up the venue. So they just went with it. And then plus they just had their other reasons why Atlanta was a good city to pick in the US, to have. So that's kind of how it went there. And so he's got a place available to him in California. So he actually is able to travel to California and stay there, and then be able to get to Hollywood, very readily for that side of the film industry. So it's a lot of developing things kind of culminating. And so when I got my mind around it, and I'm like, okay, now I'm getting involved in African filmmaking, I really became attracted to it. Because if you think as the world dynamic, I tend to look at the world through 6 aspects, kind of like how is the world developing in global faith communities, the international service organizations like Lions, Kiwanis, Rotary, Optimist Club, so forth. In global opportunities like through Zoom webinars and stuff, for skills sharing, knowledge commons, personal professional development, available to people around the world. kind of in governance or kind of in kind of how the world works kind of way, like with our World Advocacy Day, United Nations, all that kind of stuff. And then through the business community, obviously, like saying now the film industry, and then all the fun things we do in life, including watching films, stuff like that. So when you look at Africa, Africa with its history, I might say it's a wonky history. It's kind of, why is Africa in many respects, not all respects, Africa has its, notoriety in a lot of ways, but there's also the other end of it where there's like a disparaging characteristic to how the rest of the world, kind of circles Africa. And, I just don't see Africa as ever having gotten its rightful place in the business of the world, and I think across those 6 aspects. Now we have film industry, so I really get it. Now you can start looking at Australia, New Zealand, you can look at the Orient, Asia, Europe, Canada, North America, South America. You can kind of look at everything around Africa and just say that this is another opportunity to build global equity, if you want to call it that. And as we're in these conversations, the Africans will tell you, people come in, opportunists come into Africa, and like all these stories told about, like with the tusks of elephant, like elephants being harvested for the ivory, and
Right.
so all that stuff, the rainforest, African rainforest, so all these stories. So as a global population, I think we've got our responsibilities and work needs done to kind of better better repair this disparaging rapport, like reparations, sometimes they say, to kind of look at that. We know, like within our own country, when you think of the African diaspora, and then, in terms of how that's placed here in the US, the history there, and then we just know in the United States of America, the tensions between Americans of African descent or Americans in the African diaspora and so forth, that it's a tenuous topic. It's one of these things where, again, a lot of great things happening, a lot of progress, a lot of things to celebrate. And then there's a whole pool of things that it's like, wow, we're still doing this in the US. Like, how can we be this demeaning? How can we be this inhumane? And, just kind of some dynamics in the professional space and these different spaces, like the old saying of, like when is the most segregating time in America? Like what day of the week is the most segregating time in America? Do you know that one in the US?
No.
They say it's in the churches for Sunday. So you look at, like, when everybody's at church on Sunday, and you look at how at the large scale, like it's a stereotype, so it's not true in all cases.
Right.
But if you just look at in terms of a general characteristic of the USA, and you look at what's happening on Sunday morning, a largely still segregated situation in majority of cases. A lot of churches will be like, well, that's not our church. And then, they're right with their church, but it's the majority of the issue here in the States.
But so how do you distinguish between if people are choosing to go to a certain church because of the racial dynamics, or people are not being welcome? And that's 2 separate things, I think.
Yes.
So,
Yes and no. I mean, right at the forefront, absolutely. But I don't know if I want to say it's from a community organizing or leadership level or macroscopic or, just kind of an ongoing thing to disrupt. This is a lot of the work that I've entered into. So the ideas I'm talking about churches. So, or we're talking about religion and faith groups, and, we're talking about the idea of being welcoming. So So the idea is, like I was talking about Sunday. So that's one day of the week. So the idea is if you want to splice it apart, that's where the tip of the iceberg is to point something like that out. And then like the iceberg thing, what's all the underlying issues? So the idea is if we get up on Monday morning and we go to work and we have workplaces that are not very well integrated yet, our culture and our customs and our business practices are not homogenous yet. That's going to affect Sunday morning. If we have people heading out to golf courses, going like I like water skiing. So like, let's take water skiing. If you look into the sport of water skiing, how many people of color are participating in water skiing?
Mhm.
Not too much at all, really. Or if you talk about the rodeos or, and you talk about even like cinemas and even talk about how cities, there's people that are involved in urban planning. And we have this history of how the different parts of cities came to be. And it's got that history of segregation. So Houston is known to be a very diverse community. So Houston celebrates being like the USA example of what the other cities, like say Milwaukee, could become more like, because that's the gist I get. I've never been to Houston, but I've been hearing actually through HMP the last few years, I get the idea that Houston is a little bit more advanced in diversity and intercultural stuff, and all those things that people talk about is actually more happening in Houston than most other places in the US.
Yeah, I think that talking a lot about it makes it. I just think that everybody needs to accept everyone as they are, regardless of their color. And then we wouldn't have the problem. When we're talking so much about the problem, I think that perpetuates it.
Well, it's two sides. I mean, like I say, there's a lot of good going on. There's a lot that, it's just build off of, a lot has been done already in generations past, whatever. People are deceased that kind of mitigated the gaps in many ways.
Right.
There's a lot of that to just continue on a lot of these aspects and kind of like carrying the baton,
Mhm.
from like say Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., so on and so forth. But like we experienced a half a dozen years ago where it got pretty raw and ripe, and even on Facebook, like it might have been the most controversial timing on Facebook, like a half a dozen years ago and whatever, when the political climate was pretty volatile, where people were talking about, is civil war going to break out, stuff like this. So there definitely is a lot of healing to take place in our country. And yeah, they call that objectification. So when you kind of create such a narrative and you create this mindset, like this is a wonky issue, or this is awkward, or this is disparaging, and that negativity is in there, and then you have people of color in your midst, yeah, it's like that reticular activation. It's like presence of a person of color ain't negativity. So yeah, you're correct. It's got that suggestiveness that is counterproductive.
Mhm.
Yeah, we do have a quote unquote fire to put out. We do have to take concerted action in many, many ways. And so it's a matter of being strategic about it and, kind of really having, like I might call quality control, quality assurance, that if you're kind of going there, that it's a controlled process and there's the commitment to make sure that it'll have that positive outcome. Because if you just get into it with all the ugliness and then you vacate it from there, people are carrying away the negativity. But if you can continue the process to say, to your point, how do you take this awareness and all this talk of it? Now, how do we go back and have it be something that takes a positive effect? So like I mentioned, water skiing, you know, say USA Water Ski and Wake Sports. You know, there could be partnerships with USA Water Ski and Wake Sports to create some funding so that different demographics could start to come into the sport of water skiing.
Okay.
And I see that possibility because this is what I did in inclusion to water skiing from an ability perspective. You know, I'm operating a lot of adaptive water ski programs. So
Right.
that happens in sports and rec too, that you can kind of look at other underserved populations and create these fundings, create the funding so that when the boat, rope, and skis are in there, that
Right.
the idea is that we're getting folks of different ethnicities introduced to water skiing.
But I think the key there is underfunded.
Yeah.
And it's not, so I guess to my point, underfunded could mean any ethnicity. So by saying, not by saying people who don't have as much money, don't have, you know, water skiing is a fairly expensive sport, right?
It can be. It can be.
Okay.
So like
Okay, so you want to make it so that it's for everybody. I understand that. I know I'm with you on that, but I'm saying where the part about the racial comes in is that there are people who are in that category that are not African American. You see what I'm saying? So by pointing that out, then that is making, in my mind, that is making the divide worse. If you just say, okay, we want to help people who don't have the resources. They don't have to be Black. They don't have to be white. Anybody that doesn't have the resource can be helped. Am I making myself clear at all?
Yeah, I mean, for sure what you're saying is the end goal and a lot of how you enter into it. So yeah, it's all throughout the process, but I promote at the same time that we have to have these initiatives that are followed up by quality control, quality assurance to make sure that equity is happening. So the idea is just to open it up loosey-goosey, like you're saying. It's a healthy way to do it culturally and in custom and, you know, kind of in ethics, you know, and so forth. But at the same time, if we don't have this intentional objective to check in with the community of Americans from the African diaspora, and otherwise we could say Americans with African descent, you know, so forth, Americans of color even. There's like BIPOC, you know, stuff like that. There's a lot of these groups out there kind of addressing things for the social equity and social justice here in the States. You know, so we can definitely team up with nonprofits and groups that have these missions and initiatives and to help steer that. There needs to be that assertive thing. So an example is, let's get away again from the racial aspect and let's come over to our Americans with disabilities. First of all, to your point, we can be aware that Americans with disabilities are disproportionately, you know, in the economic position in a lot of ways as compared to Americans that don't report a disability. There's that disproportionate factor. So to the point, there can be rich Americans with disabilities. You know, that does exist in America. You know, very rich Americans. So that's kind of the nuance here is that, yeah, we don't want to stereotype to get to a point where just because somebody's in America with a disability that they're disenfranchised, disadvantaged or any of that stuff that yeah, we all admit, but it's just disproportionate. So when I look at like with Americans with disabilities, my assessment says what I say is that we need to get 33 times more into the direction of equity. So that's how disproportionate it is. It's not just kind of sort of Americans are disadvantaged and undergoing systemic oppression. It's a huge gap, ginormous. I mean, to me, it's not even funny. And to me, I relate to it very personally because I more got serious about this 10 years ago. So I'm 51 years old. So you're talking that this kind of developed in my life as I'm entering my 40s. So I'm looking at that from the ability perspective. I recognize that 4 decades of my life went on, and I'm not convinced for myself personally that I was in any sort of a proper place. I'm not here to say I've arrived and like I'm the shining example today, even. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I went through a transformative process, a quantum leap forward for myself, my own personal assessment and my own personal improvement goals. I'm elated at the progress I've been able to make. And it's the old thing, the more you know, the more you realize what you don't know.
Right.
So I realize I got to.
So 2 points, and I'm going to have to jump off in a few minutes, but I taught special ed, and I taught some students who are very low mentally and because of that are not employable. And I'm not saying that from a, from a prejudicial standpoint, it's just the facts. So that would change that percentage that you were giving, right? I mean, because you were talking about all people with disabilities, right?
Yeah, you're talking about in terms of 33 times more,
Right.
or is that? No, actually, what you're saying does not change what I expect in our country. Actually, it doesn't, because actually, what I propose is that we're a whole lot of messed up. To me, if you have somebody who's got an intellectual disability and they're in this under our current process, unemployable, I don't believe any human being should be unemployable. Now, the financial reality around that, I'm not expecting businesses to get into charity. I'm not expecting that. What I'm saying is that if we change the response to the marketplace around an American with an intellectual disability, there's a way to offer that person with an intellectual disability to be a part of our businesses, a part of the Happy Neighborhood Project, a part of a Chamber of Commerce. They can play a role, but we are not in that paradigm today.
Okay.
Leaders
I'm going to say that there are some students that I taught that I'm not sure would be employable. I mean, okay, let me go back to the other thing I want to say. When I was in college and I was working at what do they call it? Kansas Neurological Institute was the name of it. I lived in Topeka. That's where I grew up. And it looked like it used to be an army barracks, but it was the state institution for the mentally handicapped. And I worked there for the summer. And I had clients who at that time were not considered employable. It blows my mind now to see the progress that's been made. And I'm not arguing with you that it needs to be made more, but I mean, there were kids that we had all day just filling their day with physical activities. I mean, minute physical activities, but that we were doing things with that later on I saw as living in that same population, living in group homes, being much more independent and having employment. So I agree with you 100%. I've seen that. But I still can think of a couple of students that I had that I am not sure would be employable.
Yeah, what we're picturing is an employee coming into a business, having even if it's a 2-hour shift, whatever, and being assigned to do some things independently, so on and so forth. The
Independent is the issue. I mean, the people, the students that I'm thinking of that, and this was like the lowest functioning class
Sure.
I ever taught. I just, yeah, they couldn't do anything independently for sure. And I think because of their temperament, probably because other than, not their mental capacity. I'm just not sure that they would have been able to finish a job. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
I mean, I guess what I'm trying to separate is status quo from the change in the job market in the workplace and, the market, obviously the arrangement of a role a person can play in the realm of business obviously needs to have a drastic shift to be congruent, with the functionality of these individuals. But what I'm saying is we're a marketplace of hundreds of millions of people. And so if you think more on the macroscopic scale, we can kind of job carve a role to show that out in the marketplace, this individual can specifically offer this, that, and the other thing. So if we look at like the idea of the realm of Americans with disabilities and the advocacy to look at my ability, not my disability, we can take individuals because of their mental capacity, we can create that service. Like you said, you had some of these folks as a client, there's job coaches and there's different things happening to help Americans with disabilities kind of have something that can be really like that it makes sense, in a job setting, because that's what you're looking at in the job setting. How is this person contributing to the situation? So that's what we have to develop. And it could be, on a day-by-day basis, very minute. It could be a minute thing. So I go by a little of a lot is a lot. So the idea is that if you line up this person and kind of get a workflow that works for the individual with assistance, whatever, kind of create what is a productive sequence that this person is interested in. Because I'm not interested in saying like your disability benefits are not going to be there unless, I'm not looking to hold people over the barrel like that. But if somebody's sitting there like, oh gosh, yes, I wish I could be a part of the workplace, I think we as the United States of America should make that happen. The fact that it's not happening, it's like, it's kind of our current situation. It is the reality. There is no such thing right now, but that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create think tanks where it's like we can evolve to the next level.
I'll get you in touch with somebody. He's retired now, but we have an organization in Tucson called the Beacon Group. And I first met the fellow that I'm talking about that's retired now. He was working, I'm not even sure what the job was, but I was teaching and I was teaching at a high school, and I was in charge of interviewing skills and that kind of stuff. So these individuals were higher functioning than the ones that we've been talking about. But this fellow was working for an organization that helped with job placement, I guess, is more what he did this years ago. Then he changed and worked for the Beacon Group before he retired. And the Beacon Group starts with the kids that I was talking about at Kansas Neurological Institute that are now functioning, and a little bit lower. I mean, they had a lot of jobs. They had jobs around their physical offices for people that they didn't feel could go out and work. But I remember one time visiting him and he was teaching somebody how to do a skill. And I don't think the person was going to be a cashier, maybe a bagger at a grocery store. And he had a little simulation of the checkout carts, of the checkout, what do you call it? The board that runs along. Well, I mean, they don't have them that much anymore, but you know what I'm saying? Anyway, but he had the fake food and the cash register, everything was set up so that they could learn how to manipulate in that particular environment and do the job. They do great work. I mean, I think they do wonderful work. One of the jobs is recycling. If you take a bunch of recycled paper and shred it, if you want your paper shredded and you take it down there, they charge for it because that's one of their money-making things. But there are guys that come out and pick up just pick up the stuff out of your car and take it inside and weigh it, or if they can't weigh it, somebody that has that capacity can. So that might be a good connection for you. Just find out what they're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would be interested. Yeah. So, but other than that, I know you said you just had the brief moment, then you're going to be moving
I know,
on.
and then I talked and talked, huh?
Right. Well, you're good. You're good on my side. I just don't want to tie you up if you're trying to get on to something else.
Yeah. So,
So, did you have anything
thank you
else?
for having me.
Oh, you bet. I always like to respond to that by saying thanks for being had.
Yeah. So we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. See you tomorrow, hopefully, Emily.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Well, we'll reconvene tomorrow. Thanks for inviting us. We'll be there.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Happy Saturday.
You too.
Yes, I'll ask her my other question later.
Well, you had a question for her?
Yeah, but that's okay.
Well, what?
It was just about Easy Expo.
Oh, in terms of being on Easy Expo?
Yeah. But that's okay. I'm sure can be in touch with her about them.
Yeah, because obviously it's just a matter of sending her a text or whatever like that. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Zoom because
Zoom giving you issues today.
and because I'm trying to do the spotlighting. There, replace spot. So,
You were spotlighted, now I'm spotlighted and you're not. And a minute ago it was the other way around.
yeah, so I'm trying to figure out there's something where on my system, the spotlighting.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Now both of us are spotlighted.
Yeah. So there's something where it's not responding just, in one click. It's like I gotta do 4 clicks instead of 1. 'Cause it usually
Do you
is.
have a lot of stuff? Do you have a lot of stuff open or anything like that?
Not really, no. It's
Oh.
might be low resources on the system anyway. I mean, I got different live streaming going.
I don't know. I was just curious.
I'm doing all your podcast engineering for you, so but that's okay.
I'm sorry, but thank you.
Had you noticed I forgot to start the recording the whole first hour? I didn't start it until the second hour.
Even when I heard the recording started, I was like, but at least it's live streamed for the whole time.
Yeah, so when we share the recording, we'll have to make sure the live streams are right there available too, so that it can be there to refer people to the first hour of the show. So
It happens.
it's not
I've had those things happen to me too, so
it's not supposed to happen.
I know, but
All right, so what else do you bring to the show? We got 15 or so minutes left. I suppose more than that, 20 or so minutes, I guess. So what do you bring to the show? I mean, I'm taking it that Barbara hopped off, obviously.
yeah.
Did you just give up on her, or did she really say that she had to go?
No, she didn't say anything. I mean, she had initially said something about next week, and I was like, I'm sure I can call in and whatever else. So she must have either had something else going on or couldn't really hear, or I don't know, something. But I can touch base with her about it.
Yeah, please do.
And the I had somebody else, the girl from Clubhouse, a couple days ago. She had said something about coming on today, but then I guess something came up, and so she asked if she could come on next week. I said she could come on next week. So we may have 3 people next week coming on if she comes on. So we'll have Molly from Helpopedia, and then if Derek, so last name starts with E, Espadas, wherever you pronounce his last name. And then if Shirley comes on, and if anyone else, so. Have a good group next week. If all of them show up and anybody else.
Yep, just gotta check my battery. I'm kind of impressed that we got 1% battery on my tablet that I'm running
Uh-oh.
program on. And my Zoom on my device I'm doing Restream and StreamYard from just restarted Zoom, so that's interesting. So there's a little interruption to that programming. I tell you, Emily, you're letting things go to hell in a handbasket. Might be that basket that Edwin catches 2 birds with.
I'm really sorry, Kurt. Really am.
I'll have to work on it. This will be repentance to the public right here at World of Ability.
Yeah, I don't mean to cause you any undue trouble or stress or anything like that.
Yeah.
I've been completely honest about that. I'm serious.
Well, there's lots of stress here, Emily. Lots of stress.
Well, everybody has lots of stress.
Not everybody. You tell me.
Well, I mean, everybody has stress. It just depends, but it varies with each person, the extent of it. So.
Yeah, I mean, Edwin seems pretty chill.
That's Edwin. That's Edwin. But I'm sure he has stress though too.
You know, what about Barry?
That's just Barry and Edwin for you. But
I'm trying to think. I think it's Diva that had the thought of with Doug Cornfield and with Dave Clark that maybe there's some synergy and collaborative potential between basically Doug Cornfield and Barry, but then Doug would be coordinating potential role with Dave Clark with Barry's work. And then, and then for me specifically, I think of Barry's shows. Barry has his shows.
yeah, I was just gonna say, what would be the connection between Doug and Dave and Barry outside of maybe the podcast?
Well, they're both like when you think of pulling each other along, and Dave Clark is very interested to be like a motivational speaker and really showcase how one person can be an uplift, an assist, positive effect, make an impact in another person's life. Like a pound of kindness, with that Mr.
Sure. Well, there. I guess there's sort of the connection with Barry and his story with being paralyzed and coming back from that and that kind of thing too. So
Yeah, so I'm thinking that Dave Clark could have a similar partnership with Barry Shore. Is, I mean, Edwin and Barry, I mean, that's a lot closer of a link.
right, yeah,
Joy,
yeah,
but you know, with a pound of kindness or pulling each other along, yeah, it seems like Dave Clark's speaking message and everything seems to be similar. And then whatever Doug Cornfield can do, in the midst of it all too, obviously Doug is going to have to do all the heavy lifting and putting it together. But once it's put together, I'd be delighted to see Dave Clark on Barry Shore's show. And then whatever else. When's the last time you sent a smile card?
well, probably a long time ago. I probably need to start doing that again. But
You want to show the audience how to do that and send somebody a smile card right now? It's part of the show. Should we do it live right here? Emily Gomer sending a smile right here at World of Ability. What do you think?
sure, I have to get to his page here first, though. But I just wanted to well, just thinking about kind of off topic here while I'm trying to find this. For anyone who is interested in having a live virtual booth, year-round booth, we are at a conference. We are connected with, Kurt and I are both connected with a gentleman by the name of Matt Falk, who created Easy Expo. So we can get somebody set up with a virtual booth if anyone is interested. Where you can showcase your logo and other things about yourself or your organization. It's on, and we have a handful of people up there right now that have booths and so on, but I have it's up here. So if one goes to the dailysmile.com, it comes up with this page, and it's 4,052,387 joy cards have been shared around the world as of this moment, which is a lot. But you can either email a card out to anybody, or you can order cards and then somehow get the cards to the person. But I think I'm just gonna make it easy here. We're just gonna email. And there's ones in English and in Spanish, French. I guess there's more languages here. Click on this. There's Mandarin, Portuguese, Hebrew, Italian, Ukrainian, German, Turkish, Vietnamese, Arabic. Oh, there's quite a few. Russian. Yeah, I'm not going to go through all of them, but there's quite a few different languages here. Send one in. And so there's keep sign cards. There's also inspirational cards that you can send. So I think I'm going to like the Keep Smiling card. And so this is what it says on one side of the card, and then this is what it says on the other side of the card. So then you would click on email this card here. And then so to please send to 5 friends, and then you can put their people's names here. Who should I send one to? Um, Oh, just doing it simple. I'm just going to do your Euclid just to make it simple here.
No, let's not do that. Let's put in Doug, and then since we're just talking,
There.
yeah, so put in Doug and
And then what, like Dave? Or
you tell me. I thought you were putting Michelle in there, but I don't know. You tell me.
well, I guess I could do. Ah. I could do, not sure if I know his email address though. Ah, here we go. Um, oh, look who's here. Mark Laufenberg. Long time no see, Mark.
Yeah. We've been missing you on the 12 o'clock shakedown.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I miss you guys too. But I'll be back. No worries. All right, I'm just gonna put you in. Just
I don't know. You're just talking about the shakedown. So do you have like Doug or Helene's email or anything? Or no, nobody with the shakedown? Do you have anybody with that crew like Autumn or anybody?
I think I have Helene and Doug's emails. Doug's anyway.
Yeah, basically Emily's doing this automated email with greeting. So this is a little greeting card type thing. And she was just gonna send it to me, but you know, let's get this out to our friends.
So Mark, I'm not sure if I have Doug's email. You want to put it in the chat or say what it is or anything like that? Maybe put it in the chat, might be better.
Yeah, I'll look it up, see if I do in fact have it.
And I know I have Doug's phone number, but I don't know about his email.
I guess I don't have it. Thought I did. No, I'm not seeing it.
You know, or Emily, if you have somebody like Kathy's email or something, Kathy Weaver, or you know, send this out to somebody. Just anybody that you have easy with their email address. No, you don't need to put Mark Laufenberg in here. Well, I suppose. Yeah, why don't you? Because then
Oh,
yeah, go ahead. You have Mark's email address handy?
yeah.
Go ahead and send it, because yeah, that's all right, because then he'll get this and he'll understand what we're doing right now, because so Mark, your assignment is to do this every day.
Oh,
They call this the daily smile.
I see. Well, I probably put Helene's in some note here, and I can't remember which one.
All right, well, we can keep working on it. Like I say, this is a daily pursuit here. Share this with friends and family. So you're going to share that out, Emily? It allows you to share it out on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah, I have Helene's phone number, but not her email address.
Yeah, that would take a workaround. That would take, you know, taking the email and converting it to a phone message, which if you want to do that, Emily, after the show, you can do that. So does this share with friends and family? Is that just direct messages, or is that a post, or what is that,
Oh,
Emily?
it was like an actual post.
So did you already
Here,
post?
so here, I'll do this. I'll show you what it did. I
Oh,
did,
you're
I did just post it, but it is
Did you get it off to Twitter and LinkedIn too?
no, I just joined the Facebook, but it comes up. When you click on it, it comes up to this to like make a post. That's like this message saying thank you for sending it out.
Yeah, so you could put, oh, it shows the daily smile.
Yeah.
So yeah, finish off the post. So you're gonna get me the link, the Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn link of your posts?
Yeah, when I do it, I mean, I just clicked post for the Facebook thing, so but when I get it to the other ones, I can share it with you.
Okay. When are you thinking you'll have that off to us?
I don't know, I guess I could do it right now, so the next 5 or 10 minutes here.
Yeah, I see your post on Facebook so far. So Emily, you got anything for Mark?
Um,
No, I just
sorry, Mark.
received an email from Emily.
That's good. I'm good. You got it. But sorry, Mark, I wasn't on shakedown today, but what were today's holidays?
Oh, well,
Since I'm sorry I wasn't on and I didn't look to see what today's things were.
yeah, I'd have to
Yeah, anyway.
dig
If you
'em.
don't have it, if you don't have it handy, don't. If you don't have it handy, no worries. I was just curious.
Well, I got maybe a couple of them. Let's see. Well, it was World Hospital and Palliative Care Day, National Chest Day, was National Bald and Free Day, National African Penguin Awareness Day,
Oh boy.
couple of odd ones in there. Was I Love Yarn Day.
Hold on.
Yeah, and Kurt threw some new moves in the shakedown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then his screen would freeze up periodically, and I couldn't really see what the moves were.
Oh well, boy.
So yeah, we had a little advanced session. So
Yeah.
you see this, Emily, here with National Dessert Day, Be Bald and Be Free Day, I Love Yarn Day, International African Penguin Awareness Day, and then we got our celebrities over there.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go. The On Your Mark wrap up for today.
Oh. I've always enjoyed the On Your Mark program, so as Kurt likes to call it.
So Mark, we have an invite for you for tomorrow. If you're looking for something at 4 o'clock tomorrow, we've got just the thing for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, our friend Debbie, who was on here earlier, she had to hop off before you hopped on. You guys are playing tag team today, but I just put her screenshot from her phone in the chat, and then we also typed it out in the chat. I just put that all in there for you.
Okay.
If you are looking for something
Let me turn the
available to you, you are welcome to join.
Yeah.
Meet our friend Debbie.
Debbie from Arizona.
Hmm. Yeah, I didn't have the chat open when I first came on.
So Emily, anything else for Mark?
Um,
Debbie Hayes, what is her topic?
she's all about she's all about pets and like these types of treats and
Oh,
other
healthy
things
choice.
that
See. I kind of messed that up above. Yeah,
But the stuff she has, she also has a an application for humans too. So the discussion isn't just pets, it's
yeah.
humans as well.
healthy treats for us. My nutritionist didn't like the ones I was using. So,
Uh-oh.
All right, Emily, what you got next?
Um,
I don't see your integral conference planning on the calendar for today, so there's no session going on right now, is there?
no, it's getting changed to tomorrow because of another event that we're doing.
Another event? Do tell what's going on.
It's a new event. That was I think it's another one of Kurt. I think it's another one of Scott's ideas. You know who Scott is.
That's going on today, you're saying? Because
Yeah.
of
Yeah. So it starts in like an hour and a half. At a park that's not too far from me. And it's called Oktoberfest.
now, this is an existing event, or this is your own creation of Oktoberfest? Like you guys are attending an Oktoberfest, or you guys are
No.
doing something calling it Oktoberfest?
No, this is an event we're calling Oktoberfest.
Okay.
So it's like AUTOBER and fest. It's kind of so in celebration of there. Good.
Celebration of Germany's autism, or what? What time is that conference planning tomorrow?
Still like the same time, like 3:00. So it's just kind of built around like celebrating people with autism and kind of focusing on like sharing stories of achievements, like just kind of celebrating people with autism. in a sense.
In a sense,
Yeah.
sense, kind of sense.
Yeah, in every sense of the word.
Sensational. All right.
So this is our first one. So
All right. So anything else then, Emily?
well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. And we are here with the show every week. So anybody who's welcome, anybody who's looking for people to come on the show. So if anybody is interested in coming on the show, to let us know, and we can get you the link and be where you need to be on the show. And they have other shows, not just this one. So everybody's welcome to be on any of them. And I think Marcus, Zach, and Lawrence, they're supporting, they're playing the shows. And a few thoughts I had at the moment.
Okay. And I had the thought that if you're letting Mark Laufenberg in, then you must be letting everybody in.
Very funny.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody loves Mark.
That's right.
I don't know about that.
Well, we love you, Mark. Miss
Oh,
Kurt and I do.
well, that's good enough.
At least the Shacklewhites do. So. Kurt, what are you doing? You're trying to control my camera, buddy.
I'm trying to work around this nuance with Zoom. It's not like I said, it takes 4 clicks instead of 1 all of a sudden today. So there we go. Now we got us all situated.
Yeah, I got a message that you'd like to control my camera.
Yeah, you better watch out.
Uh,
We're going for candid camera these days.
oh boy, I can only imagine. But
So Mark, anything else you brought for us today? Any words of wisdom? Anything you wanted to share for our audiences? What are you thinking, Mark?
Well, I don't know. I guess World of Ability, I think, is a good title. Focus on ability and not disability.
yeah, I think it's a good title too. And Kurt came up with a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
or Marcus, whichever one of you came up with it.
Yeah, I shot him a few ideas, and this is the one he right away said he liked. And I said, yeah, that's the one I thought was the better of my creations. So yeah, we went with it. Not too bad for a guy from Milwaukee.
Yeah, you've come up with names for
Yeah.
what seems like quite a few of our other things too, Kurt.
Key to the City.
All right, so anything else, folks? Anything else before we stop the live streaming? Anything else you want to get into today's messages or discuss?
Well, okay, so no, I'm not sure if you brought this up before, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating. Repeated, but some things are probably good to repeat. I encourage everybody to please help us in supporting Project Die Hard, which is our veteran-owned, veteran-run nonprofit in Kentucky. It's looking to build, renovate one building, but otherwise have facilities around the country to help veterans. Whatever they need help with, especially during the transition between active duty and civilian life. And they're relaunching a Mission Monday podcast in just a couple weeks here, November 6th. So if anybody is they're a veteran or helping veterans in any way, or trying to bring hope to veterans or help support the Project Die Hard mission, are welcome to connect with us to be on the show. As well as we are having a posting party coming up in like a week and a half for in support of Project Die Hard. So everybody is invited to that, and it's basically making a post and having other people like comment, share your post. So basically getting more more visibility and whatever to your post. So everybody's invited to that. So connect with us if you're interested. I think that's my. Oh, we're having another posting party in December, and so part of the mutual aid network too. But yeah, that's my big announcement for the moment. For this
When
week,
is that posted? You said a week and a half, but when is it?
October 26th, 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern.
Yeah. So Mark, are we gonna see you there at the posting party?
Well, possibly October 27th.
26.
It's 26th. So it should be a Thursday.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Thursday at 2:30. 26, a week from this Thursday.
Yeah, you're welcome to join us anytime during that hour. We don't have to be there like right when it starts or anything like that.
Okay.
Emily doesn't shoot you any nasty grams or anything if you come a half hour in or something. See you all booked up.
There is a ribbon cutting ceremony at 2:30 that I had down here.
So what's opening up? What are you going to?
The Baki Recreation and Wellbeing Center.
Well, that sounds worthwhile.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how I got an invite to that.
You're more popular than you know, eh?
I guess.
So, all right. Well, Mark, anything else while we're live streaming here?
No, I don't think I have anything.
All right, Emily, you got anything else?
I don't think so. Other than to thank everybody, and hopefully we'll see everybody next week.
All right. So, and any follow-ups anybody wants to do out there, feel free to text me or call me at 262-372-1SKI. That's 262-372-1754. Email me, Kurt, K-U-R-T, at projectdiehard.org. Kurt at projectdiehard.org. So with that, feel free to also contact us through our social medias, these social media pages that Emily set up, so on and so forth. And let's stay in touch. Tune in next time. The next feature show we invite is coming up on Wednesday, Ability MK Now, 7:30 Central. Lead host for that show, my wife, Sue Roskoff. So 29 minutes of disability advocacy radio with River West Radio out of Milwaukee, WXRW LP. It may be a low power signal going out there in Milwaukee, but it's a high powered radio show. Disability advocacy at its best, led by Sue Roskoff. All right, with that, we're going to say goodbye here, and please do come back again. Y'all come back now, you hear? All right.